in the furthest reaches of space. Grand adventure awaits. Hi everyone, and welcome to Strange Lore, Weird Tales of Planetary Romance, Astonishing Adventures, and Pulp Goodness here on the Long Lost Lore Twitch channel. My name is Philip, and I'm the Strange Master of Strange
Stop saying
Lore.
it that way.
What do you mean?
Master
What
of
way?
Strange.
What are you
It's
talking
a
about?
lot of strange. What's the confusion?
Or what strange I get, I instantly master. And joining me are some of our wonderful players for today's game. We have Lauren and Liv. Say, to the stars, players.
To the stars. Players.
There we go. How are you both doing today? I have not been talking to you up until this point, so I need to know how you're doing.
I'm doing pretty good.
Great.
I'm great. I'm 100% mentally stable.
Okay.
And my stomach doesn't hurt at all.
Cool. I feel like by saying those things, you're saying they're not true. I'm lying. These wonderful players, wonderful players and talented performers and personalities were just explaining to me what an NPC stream is.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's what we'll be doing tonight.
I guess it is tonight on the East Coast because
that's true.
Because time is crazy. No, but we are here for some delightful sort of like planetary romance sci-fi fun. This game is a little different than a lot of our other ones. It's kind of a game with two different modes where we have sections set in a more grounded world and then in a more elevated world. In the grand tradition of all sorts of old pulpy stories, or the 1990s Jim Henson cartoon puppet hybrid show Dog City, which in some ways is the biggest influence for this. Either you remember Dog City. Okay, Dog City was a cartoon where it started with like live action puppets of a puppet cartoonist drawing about his cartoon, and then it would cut to the cartoon starring the character.
You never.
Interesting.
Oh, guys, Dog City, it's good. Dog City's a lot of fun.
It was
on Fox Kids in the 90s. Does anybody?
I see Jim Henson's Dog City the movie.
Oh no, it was a series.
Rolf in it.
Huh? It was a show. I don't know what to tell you. Chat is requesting no NPC weirdness. Someone in chat also said "What babes," which I'm assuming is, I don't know, a reference to my Legos.
Are they calling us pigs? That's what it is.
No, I doubt it. It's Aaron, so probably not. With that in mind, this is a game we'll probably just kind of jump into. Although, Liv, there is one roll I wanted you to make beforehand. If you could grab 3d6 for me, roll them and add them together, or just roll your one fancy one 3 times. Live your life.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just do that. I mean, I have 2 in front of me. I don't know why I don't have a third one, but that's fine. Oh wait, I could do it. I have my. I'd have to look for them.
The sweethearts dice.
Yeah, this is convenient because there's so many. I'm just gonna do this one.
Perfect.
Okay, it's a 5, 2, another 5.
5, 2, 5, 12. Okay, cool. So congratulations. You are starting with 60 luck because in all these D100 systems, these basic role-playing systems, which is what this game basically uses. Haha, get it? Basic, because basic. Guys, don't worry about it. You determine your starting luck score by rolling 3d6 and multiplying that by 5, which is going to give you a value between basically 15 and 90.
Okay.
The more you know. So I think with this in mind, we're going to just sort of start into today's game. Lauren was here last time. We're welcoming Liv in, and this is a game that's still kind of like in flux, in motion, and we're going to kind of follow the story wherever it goes and bring in new characters as makes sense. So I'm really excited to jump into this with you guys. So, with all that in mind, we begin once again. 1947, the Premier Periodicals building. We're in Manhattan. Cora Wood Your name was Cora Wood, by the way. You did get a name. I'm sorry, I forgot. You had a
Oh,
last
it's
name. Wood was the last name. So
I see what you did.
Cora Wood? What what did I do?
It's just like a core of wood. I don't know.
Oh, a core. Oh, it's a what a strong Cora Wood.
She's secretly a puppet without strings.
Cora Wood, you are at the office. Mr. Bliss is the editor of Strange Lore, and you've arrived early because he always likes to have his cup of coffee waiting for him when he gets in promptly every morning. But you are a little bit surprised to see that one of the illustrators here at the magazine, that she is already in working on a cover. Ooh, here's a question. Liv, go ahead and make a luck roll for me. So roll a D100, and we're gonna see what you get. But we will, you sort of share luck between both of these characters. Is kind of how it works. So roll a D100.
It's been so long since I've had to do a D100 that I have forgotten how to roll one. Okay. 44.
44. We'll say that, Louise, you did actually paint the cover that we opened on last week, which was of this kind of like alien landscape with a purple elven woman wearing kind of like Greek robes, but cut very suggestively because you understand what moves these magazines. She is purple skin and silver spots. With the luck that you've rolled, you can be painting any sort of like wild space-like scene you want. So do you think you would be, and you have heard that character from that painting is going to make another appearance, so you could be painting her in another scenario, or you could be painting something completely different.
So she has the skin and she's in kind of Greek robes. What's the plot of the story?
The plot of the story, if, you know what, with a successful luck, we'll say that you might have skimmed it last week. The plot of the story was that she was working as a barmaid, but some other kinds of aliens showed up and got themselves killed, and she now seems worried about her state. There's a lot of implications in the work that this Corinna character is going to be, that she's in trouble, that people might be looking for her, or that if the authorities show up, she might be in trouble on this kind of fantastical alien world.
So I guess I would have drawn her kind of in a fugitive-y type, like she's looking over her shoulder and like weaving between, I guess, whatever the buildings on this planet look like. And
Perfect.
I imagine they also have a little bit of a Grecian architecture vibe to them.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, you could put it in some ruins. All right, so it's basically, we open once again on just like there's this beautiful picture, but this time we're not trying to trick anyone and start with that. We sort of see the office. Cora, as you come in, you're surprised to see that Louise is painting that character from that sort of first chapter that you read, a couple of weeks ago or whatever, or last week, of this character of Corinna, and it's clearly her. She's on the run. And the painting looks very good.
Oh, Louise, that looks wonderful.
Thank you. When you're inspired, you're inspired.
Yeah, I couldn't help but wonder what she was getting up to, so I'm excited to read the next chapter.
Well, I skimmed it a little, and it seems like she's in a bit of trouble. This woman, they love their damsels in distresses, don't they, in these stories?
Yeah, well, hopefully she doesn't end up in too much distress. It gives me a little bit of anxiety when female characters are put in suggestive or dangerous positions, but I guess that's entertainment nowadays.
How long have you worked here again?
How long have I worked here?
You've worked a while, but it's still always an adjustment for you, perhaps, when such things appear.
Yeah, I've worked here a while, but I'm trying to work my way up so I can tell my own stories, hopefully, one day. Did you want some coffee?
Yes, please. Absolutely.
Perfect. And you take it... I'm assuming she knows, but she's just gonna check.
Black, right? The dairy does something to my stomach.
Oh, of course. Totally understand. And she'll go and get
Understood.
the coffee.
The door opens, And Mr. Bliss, kind of the sort of somewhat elitist editor of this magazine who does not enjoy this kind of storytelling at all. This is purely a paycheck for him. He sort of walks in. Corinna, you're like a precious moment or two behind because Louise was here unexpectedly and you were chatting with her. And he sort of walks in and says, well, good to see people being productive in the morning at least. Good morning, Miss Clay.
What's his name?
Mr. Bliss.
Mr. Bliss. Good morning, Mr. Bliss.
Oh. He kind of looks at your painting. Perhaps we can still use this, but I'm not sure this is the angle we wanted to go with.
Do I have a good relationship with Mr. Bliss?
Make a luck roll.
That is... Okay. Out of a 100, right?
It is, yes.
14.
With a 14, that's very good. Yeah, we'll say that sort of this is the D100. You want to roll low. Yeah.
Low.
I forgot the first session too.
Low. I forgot.
So yeah, 14 is it's a hard success for you. So basically, we will say that historically speaking, Mr. Bliss seems to he likes your work. He probably equally likes how fast you do it. So for him saying, "I'm not sure this is going to work," that. He's not saying it in any kind of like mean way. It's probably something about sales and requests for what we'll say. It has nothing to do with the sort of technical element of it. He's not he's just not sure that'll work. And just he kind of goes over to his desk and says, "Miss Wood, where's my coffee?"
Oh, right here. Here you go, Mr. Bliss. And she's got Louise's in the other hand. Was there anything else I could get you?
Thanks, doll. No, this is perfect.
Welcome.
Oh, a second shot at life would be nice.
Oh, well, that'll cost you.
He's so dramatic.
He just sort of sits down, and a few of the other people from the office come in. Who they'll be, we'll fill those in later. But among them, kind of walking in with his kind of standard air, is Ted. Ted Fountain comes in, the author of the first Corinna book. Now, Louise, I don't think you've ever actually run into Ted. You maybe keep different hours, or you've seen him across the way, but you've never spoken to him until kind of up to this point. You'd know him to look at him. He is a average height, kind of slender. You wouldn't call him scrawny, but there's a gangliness or a hollowness to him, almost like a kind of he's just sort of like a wraith kind of guy. Dark hair. He just sort of walks in. He's got a cigarette in his mouth, like a cigarette. As he sort of saunters in and kind of nods to a couple of people and goes to the typewriter that Cora kind of told him to sit at a while back, and sort of sits down, and he sort of sees that Louise is painting and looks at it. Oh. Hey, that's the... Oh, I didn't... So I am doing another chapter of that. And Bliss says, "I need to talk to you about that fountain." Oh, fair enough. And he kind of walks over to the desk. Louise, you could mosey over there if you want to do Cora. Yeah, are you?
Yeah, sure. I mean, if I've been wasting all my time on this, I need to know what the heck I'm supposed to be working on now.
Cora's just gonna sneak his coffee onto his desk and go and tidy up.
Just tidying up stuff. All right. So as you kind of do that, he sort of Bliss is there. Fountain doesn't even sit down. He just kind of stands there smoking, because it's back when you could and it was just cool. And as he's sort of standing there, Bliss says, "All right, here's the problem. Upstairs, they said they want more. They said there's been an uptick in reprints at some of our competitors of all the old Barsoom stories. You know Barsoom?" And And
I know Barsoom?
Ted will say, "Yeah, I know Barsoom, no problem." Yes, Louise, you would certainly be familiar. That's the name of the Barsoom. Here's some real nerdy stuff. Barsoom is the Martian name for Mars in the John Carter Princess of Mars sort of saga.
Yes.
And so he's sort of saying those are selling well, and he's saying so upstairs, apparently Mr. Ullman has suggested that Mr. Ullman has suggested that they do some more work like that. So he's basically saying to, and as he sort of sits there, sorry guys, my mouse is not working on my computer. Okay, this is a disaster.
No.
As he's doing all this, he's kind of just, Bliss is kind of yammering on about this, and Ted's just kind of nodding, and Ted goes, so you want a spaceman to show up, is what you're saying. You know, a spaceman's gonna meet the alien, the alien girl. And he says, yes, exactly. Something like those old, they want a human element, that's all. So he kind of looks over and looks back at the painting and says, I can still make this work. All right, well, as long as it's on the next cover, it should be fine. He kind of looks at Louise and says, no, I can make that work. That's fine. So
Yeah, sure.
that'll be fine.
Want to know what the next one is?
He pauses and kind of as he sort of turns and Bliss goes back to his other stuff. He says to Louise, "Hi, I'm Ted.
Louise, yeah.
Yeah, I like your work. Were you over at Galaxy?
Was I at Galaxy?
I don't. If you want to have been, I don't know.
Oh, right. I did a brief stint there, but moved on pretty quick.
Yeah. I've seen it. I haven't read much science fiction, but I like all the covers. He just kind of goes over and sits at the thing and kind of.
He hasn't read much, but he's writing?
Are you asking him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to write other stuff.
What other stuff?
Does Cora hear any of this?
Yeah, Cora's hearing all of this.
She's like pretending to clean and going closer.
Perfect. Cora, you're gonna just roll a d100. This will be a sort of little performance roll for her.
A 49.
A 49 means you just avoid like knocking something over and inadvertently calling attention to yourself. You're just on the cusp. But he's kind of he points up like this. I worked upstairs, Louise. I was working in the comic books.
Oh, okay. So men in tights more than aliens on other planets.
Please. Only most of my characters wore tights.
Don't you have aliens in comics too?
Eh.
Pretty sure.
He thinks for a moment. I have had a few aliens in there, come to think of it. Mine are more, I go a little bit more with, most of the stuff I was writing was, ghosts and magic potions and things like that. Giving you superhero strength. Huh. Yeah. Superhero strength. Alright. That's an old angle on this. He wants a spaceman. Okay.
Well, I mean, does it have to be a man? Just never mind. She'll just scrub at nothing.
I mean, the girl makes a good point.
We'll say there's like a moment where he, as like one of the other people, like drops down, various, they're the other writers and layout people are sort of, they're bringing in newspapers and periodicals. And, we'll say that he actually, as you're sort of saying that, as you've put that idea in his head, he's like, huh. He looks over and he looks at the newspaper and sees the sports section. And he goes, huh. Interesting. I can make that cover work. You don't have to start over, Louise. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay, I won't.
Yeah, no, it looks great. And he kind of gets this, like, look in his eye, and it's kind of how he was last time, Cora, but you see he just starts typing very quickly. And with that, we cut to the planet of Tinnerval. Far beyond the stars. What? Okay, so,
I see what you did there. Boop, 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 boop. Certainly no references to a different franchise.
I don't know what, I mean, what is it? What franchise? Talking about a McDonald's or something? Alright, so, on the planet of Tinnerval, we find Corinna, the princess, well, the hidden, this person who there's so much more, with this staff she has, this science sorceress that she uses these powers for as she makes her way across the alien landscape. We can tell from what we're seeing that from what we're seeing / reading, she's already on the run. She already decided to sort of leave out on her life and skip town based on the events of the previous chapter. Corinna, what do you think your strategy would have been to get out of town? What kind of places would you go to? Would you be heading further into the wilds? Would you go to those Badlands? Would you be seeking out just a different village? Would you be trying to alter would you be going to a completely different region altogether of Tinnerval?
She would be looking for a different village.
Understood.
Not so far away that she can't return with some potential allies to gather more information, but far enough away to separate her from being suspected of any involvement.
So you're not trying to, like, you're just kind of like roving away to a different village than the one you were on. Okay, so you're on rather normal passes. The Audir, which is what is called the those Casegid, those gray elves who have similar builds to your own, but their coloration is all different. They're the ones who are in charge now. Their government of this planet is called the Audir. They're what replaced the ancient civilization of Mistrios, from which you, purple-skinned, silver-spotted, that's what you hail from. The roads are in good condition in this area, so you are heading. There are numerous planets currently visible above you. Roll a d8.
8.
Roll a d8 2 more times.
A 5 and a 4.
The moon is split blue and green right now. There's
the same moon?
Yeah,
that
the
was
moon,
red.
The moon was red, now it's blue and green. The moon changes colors here. The
Okay.
moon is always different colors. You're rolling a d8 and I'm going Roy G. Biv. And then 8 means roll again because there's 2. So the moon is blue and green. Whenever the moon is split, it's kind of a momentous occasion. But what the specific meanings of these colors? There are people who spend all their time just caring about the colors of the moon and its relative position in the sky. Do you think that's something Corinna cares much about?
It's not important to her, but it's interesting to her.
Okay. I won't suggest you throw any points behind that in that case. But Corinna is sort of heading under this moon, walking, sort of traveling where she goes. But for the past few days, Corinna, as you're venturing out of your village towards another, trying to keep whenever the sort of, whenever you see Casegid on the road, you're sort of like, ooh, tilting your head away from them, etc. You have noticed that your scepter, since you used it so much, has been acting strangely. Strange master. There's been a more intense sort of kind of bizarre feeling to the scepter at times, a crackling almost like you can feel the energy through it, although you don't actually hear anything, and if you touch it, it doesn't seem active. But as you're sort of treading across these paths, give me a navigate roll. That's under your blue intellect. Oh, and by the way, you're gonna need to.
Never rolled.
I'm gonna have you do that in a moment, because you need to do that for all of those. My goodness.
It's a 61.
Okay, cool. Well, then the good news is, for our purposes, you have grown a bit lost in your efforts to maybe avoid kind of like the main roads. You took some side roads, and you find yourself moving through strange pasture lands where tall trees that have these bulbed, translucent fruits that hang down from them in odd, undulating patterns. You're familiar with this flora coming from this planet, but you're not familiar with where you are. And you do realize, after sort of an hour walking this way, thinking you're parallel to the road, you realize that you are amidst a large plain, mostly dotted with these groves of these plants, some of which seem to have been purposefully planted, but others seem to be growing wild. You realize that you are a bit lost. In addition, Corinna, Liv, would you roll me a d8?
I'm kind of wishing my name was Anna, so we could be Anna Corinna.
It's not too late.
No. I like what we came up with.
Anna Karenina.
Yeah. Anna and Corinna. 3.
3. Corinna. As you, I know you're in the process of something else, which is great, but as you're sort of, as you're walking here, a chill wind blows through the thin atmosphere. Whatever angle Tinnerval has now taken to whichever suns are present, you feel the absence of heat, and it is very cold near you.
This cold, does it feel like a presence or just a change in atmosphere? Is it a change in atmosphere that I would recognize because I can change the atmosphere?
I will say that because you have your science sorcery and you are certainly good at that. I'll tell you what. Would you like to add some points to analyze, which is what you would use for this purpose? You're currently 60 in analyze. How high would you like to go in analyze?
How many do I have?
You have 205 points left.
I will add 20.
20. All right, please make an analyze roll as you analyze the weather.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got you.
41.
41. Ooh, so close to a hard success, but instead it is just a basic success. This is not... You are, of course... Though you don't know this exact region, you understand kind of general meteorological principles given your abilities. So this is definitely normal, but it is unpleasant. There is nothing unusual about this, but you have just... It's basically insult to injury, not only... Or actually... insult to injury. Not only have you had to flee, now you're lost, and it's getting cold.
Okay. Oh boy. What would I like to do? Do I see any, like... There's no sign of civilization anywhere?
Make a look roll under your vitality.
Okay. 24.
Ooh, 24. A hard success. You glance off. In the far, far distance, you can see an outcropping of buildings that are probably farmhouses and things. But no, you don't see any villages nearby. Certainly no grand case towers, and no ancient Mystrios ruins either, which are always bring a happiness to your heart. And one would imagine that in your journey across this, one could picture you like dramatically, moving past these ruins, looking worried about things behind you, as if it were like a cover image for this part of your life or something. Yeah, this chapter of your story.
Okay, I will head toward those buildings.
You begin to head toward those buildings. Um, as you get closer, you begin to hear a loud hum coming from your scepter, the tertiary scepter of Mystrios that you carry with you.
Mm-hmm.
The hum is not dissimilar to the sounds that you occasionally hear when you use it. But you have not
But
activated
only
it.
when I use it.
Yeah, only when it's like a sound that it might, like a thrumming sound as you're channeling powerful, Zerulean magic.
Okay, so she'll just say, what now? And she'll, like, bang the top of it, like, to try to get it to stop.
Okay.
What are you doing?
To determine what it's doing, if you would like to, I would let you make a roll for your science sorcery, which is a 60, for the general ability using this staff.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will. Nope, 67.
With a failure, suddenly the energy seems to be like overwhelming you, and it seems that it is beginning to activate. Make a luck roll.
22.
22. The good news for
Hard
you
success.
is that it seems to be like it is these sort of like atmospheric strange stuff. You understand what's happening. Microclimates are being created by the staff. If you'd like to try to correct those, you could make an atmospheria roll.
I would like to.
All right, great.
And that is a 74, which is a
regular success. Okay, so you're able to kind of, it seems like the staff is, and what's strange is the staff almost activated as if it was creating like a different kind of storm or something, like it was trying to create a as if you had asked for a storm to come here. It was activating the process. You're beginning to feel an increase in the humidity around you, the temperature still low. You're feeling a little bit of wind. You're not too close to anyone, so you don't think anyone's noticing it. But you manage to sort of get it under control. But as you do, there is this, as you successfully do it, but you haven't like mastered it in your perfect way. There is this like final just gale of wind kind of whipping about and kind of, splashing waters. And suddenly before you, there falls from within this maelstrom a woman the likes of which you've never seen before. This woman is wearing, she's wearing white clothes, probably a skirt and a white top, and we're going to sort of cut to a different scene for a moment outside of this. Alice.
Yes.
You were out getting some exercise in, some practice. Let's say that you were doing a sailing. You were doing like some kind of like Olympic sailing, like the single per. God, I should have researched this a little more. Whatever the old-fashioned one-person sailing thing was called.
One-person sailing, right?
You know those ones, like whatever those were.
Well, sure, that's bee's knees.
Yeah. And you were in the process of doing this. You were out on the water when suddenly a strange weather, sort of like a little squall, came up upon you. Would you please roll for me, and you can look at this under your physicality, but I'm going to adjust some things about this because of stuff. Please, if you look down at the bottom, you see some custom stuff, including sail. Could you make a sail roll for me?
Physicality. Sail roll. Okay, so it's a D100 again.
D100 again.
Yes, all the rolling is D100. Okay, I'm remembering how this is.
Yeah, it's all coming back.
It's all coming on back to me now. That is a 33, which makes it a hard success.
It is a hard success. So the good news for you is you were able to like stay sort of, you kind of were able to keep the boat from capsizing, but then, in so doing, you felt the boat beginning to lift out of the water and you to lift off of it. Something strange was happening. The forces of gravity were not obeying themselves in the midst of this. You wondered if it was some strange eye of the storm. In fact, look under your intellect. Give me a calculate to see if this is something you understand. A calculate roll.
That is a 79. That is a fail.
Yeah, you know what? You're not a book lady, okay? This isn't your thing, Alice.
No,
And as you sort of lift up, and the waters begin to buffet you around, I'd love for you to make, this would actually be a lift roll. So if you go to your physicality, you'll see lift there. You actually get to add a bonus to this, which means you roll the like tens column twice and use the lower one.
31, which is a hard success.
31, excellent. So you manage to hold onto the line. Like, you're holding the rope, but the rope...
Maybe I tied myself.
You're even, like, tying yourself upon it. You're sort of grabbing, and your impressive muscles have grabbed onto this. I mean, after all, Alice Clifton, you are a decorated Olympian. You've competed in numerous different events at the Olympic Games representing America, I assume. Yeah, of course. You're a consummate athlete, so you're very strong and very careful, and you were practicing for sort of some of these sailing events. But the force of the storm that is sort of lifting you up is so strong that though you have the ropes break from the ship, and you find yourself pulled off into the water. And then the strangest thing happens, Miss Alice Clifton. You don't land in water. There is no splash. Instead, there is the soft thud as you land on a spongy piece of ground. And as you open your eyes, you see sort of like mist and wind, rain falling a bit, but parting to reveal an alien sky of textured colors and planets sort of distant through the thin atmospheric haze. There is a massive moon visible above you that is both green and blue on different sides, as if kind of shimmering and reflecting eerily.
Am I able to understand what's happening to me, or do I think I'm drunk?
I'll tell you what, look under your green will column and make a detect vibe roll.
Detect your own vibe.
Yeah.
Detect my own vibe. Can I figure it out, or am I a bit zazzled over here? How would I have a list of 1920s? 43. So
I will say that you didn't drink so much that you would suspect that this is just from the devil's gin. So you don't know what's going on. Maybe this is Tahiti, but you don't think so. But
I don't think the moon looks that different in Tahiti.
Precisely. But there is one other thing you might notice at this point, which is that sort of standing over you, holding a walking stick, is a woman. She has purple skin. Her body seems slightly elongated, her cheekbones high, her ears pointed like one of like an elf from an old story. She has silver sort of freckles or spots, and she's wearing a very revealing sort of like toga dress.
Oh, where's the moon? What? Hello. Are you all right?
Am I familiar with any, like, pulp magazines? Because those started in the 20s, right?
They would have started in the 20s. If you want to be someone who has read those, I would say that is absolutely one you can do. I might, however, and this is a thing we're going to get to with you, when I was asking about the moon, this is another thing, you would have to spend some knowledge if you want to be familiar with those, Miss Clifton. You have a total of 10 knowledges to apply, and basically... we don't have to get into the full specifics, but it's like, if you want to know about pulp magazines, just say so, and tell me if you want to know about it at a 1, 2, or 3, and eventually you'll run out of, like, stuff you can automatically know.
Let's say a 1.
Pulp magazines as a 1. Great, okay, so yeah, you've read strange stories before.
Okay. The idea of it's not completely gonna... don't eat me? Huh?
Oh, and we can understand each other.
Yeah, through some weird trick of of stuff, it does seem like your languages are intelligible. The odd word might seem sort of strange, but yes, you can understand each other. In addition, you notice that this woman who fell is holding like sopping wet rope. It's like she's like a kind of like as if it like some ropes broke and she's holding it very tightly.
Okay. Oh, no, the mystery aren't barbaric. We don't eat sentient beings. Where are you from?
You're an alien, right? You can understand me?
What do you mean alien?
Well, not from Earth. You're an alien.
Oh, well, I'm not familiar with Earth, but I'm from similar. I'm from areas nearby. Where you are from Earth? How did you get here? Because it appears that you just fell from the sky.
Has the moon always been that color?
Oh no, not since about how long ago?
It's only been this for about 20 minutes.
No, it's only been that color about 20 minutes or so. If that's how time works on Earth. I know it varies from planet to planet.
Can I take it this isn't Tahiti?
I have not heard of Tahiti either. Do you have any way of contacting your people?
Telephone's like, wait, I don't suppose you have a telephone?
I do not understand what that is. I'm very sorry. I'm I am traveling, and I would hate to leave you sopping wet in the middle of a strange field on a planet that is not your own, allegedly. Here, and she'll reach down and help her up. Why don't we? And she'll like stick her walking stick in the ground and sort of collect the ropes, and like if she's looking like that, she'll just like gently put them around her head and shoulders and right. Okay, so honestly I don't know what to do or say, so yes, well,
exactly. This is
yeah,
panic. This is what panic feels like. Okay.
Yes. Why don't we sit down? And she'll like grab her arms and sit with her. Like,
okay.
I don't suppose you could butt me, could you?
I could what?
Butt me. Never mind.
I don't
and
understand.
Alice is gonna like feel. I guess I'm sopping wet, huh?
You are.
So I wouldn't. And I don't really. Do I have pockets? No, probably not.
No, you know what? A lot of those skirts probably would have pockets back
Do
then.
I have any cigarettes on?
Ooh, make a luck roll. Given the conditions, though, yeah, make a luck roll. So roll a d100.
Nope, that's an 84.
What cigarettes you have are utterly soaked through. The paper has already disintegrated. And, yes, you have no cigarettes at all.
Hold them up and show them and go, well, I guess these aren't gonna be any good.
Oh, no. I can, and she'll, like, tap her on the forehead. Is this what bump?
No, but the cigarettes, tobacco, devil's lettuce. No, that's something else.
No. Well, I'm very sorry that you have found yourself here. And we're in like a field, right?
You are in a field. It's a field, but like there's a lot of trees, kind of pockets of trees here or there. You were walking.
Do the trees look like earth trees?
Oh no, the trees are terrifying. They are
Okay.
they're like really tall, and they have these they have like corkscrewed branches that end in these very like bulbous see-through fruits. Imagine a cross between like a cantaloupe and an eggplant.
So
that
duck's worst nightmare.
Yeah, that is sort of see-through, kind of and like it becomes more transparent at the bottom. At the top, it's maybe a little bit more opaque.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
it's okay. I was just made. Do you see over there? There's potentially houses, buildings, definitely.
What's your name? I don't know why I can
Uh,
even understand you. What's your name?
Corinna.
Corinna. I'm Alice. It appears that I'm not on my planet, and I don't suppose you have a way to get me off this planet and back to my planet, do
Well,
you?
no, I personally don't. But if we find a village nearby, there may be travelers that might be able to assist you. So I can take you there, and we can see. And I am traveling in that direction. And like I said, there's buildings um that with families, farmers, possibly, that could direct us to a village where you can potentially get a ride. So,
Your skin's not green.
no, oh no, that's not a mystery trait. I believe the another aliens.
Let's see. You would say who are be green? Some Busoko or some Busiko are green. Those are the tall, muscular cyclopses, and then some Chrysene have green shades as well.
Oh yes, you may have come across some Busico or Chrysene. They tend to have more green.
No, I haven't.
I do love
You're
your.
the first alien lady that I have met, let me tell you.
Oh, you've not left your home planet very much. You know what? Let's talk about it on the way over there. And she'll stand up and help her up.
Very good. So you're going to lead her to those farmhouses.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. I guess my getaway sticks still work. Let's get away.
Speaking of that, actually, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, she was going to compliment her peachy white skin. It's very interesting and unique.
Not where I come from.
Oh.
Pretty.
As you're walking, though, speaking of your getaway sticks, you notice like some spring in your step here, Alice. There is definitely a oof, like you kind of like you take a couple steps and it's like what, like you need a moment to get your legs, but it's almost like you can. It's like it's very easy to walk here.
Is there something wrong with the ground?
No, it's perhaps a little more moist than usual, but no.
It's just
Different than where you're from, I'm assuming.
yeah. Is that normal?
Well, I mean, various terrain. Is everything the same on Earth? Because different terrains do feel different underfoot. So.
Well, we generally have the same gravity everywhere. I mean, we have beaches, and it's harder to run on the sand, and the training for, triathlons is different there. And then we have water. Did you have water here? Actually,
we
do you have water?
Yes. Oh, not with. Wait, do I have water?
You've been traveling. You certainly have water.
Oh yes. Oh, we do. I do personally. If you'd like some.
Yeah. Is the water the same on this planet?
If you give it a sniff, it smells water. Like there's maybe kind of some hints of other, some hints of unfamiliar plant or flavor to it, but for the most part, yes, it is. The water is yours and potable, and the air is conveniently also totally breathable.
How'd that happen?
Yep, how'd that happen?
Random happenstance.
But as you guys approach that farmhouse, with Alice kind of like finding the walking easy, kind of drinking some water, feeling certainly not at ease, but just like, and this Corinna, this woman seems a little less dangerous. As you both approach this farmhouse, you see that there is a large beast outside of it. It is a beast of burden, something that is often ridden. It is not one of those snarl lizards which Corinna you had a recent encounter with. This is a much more sedate and large creature. It's about the size of a brontosaurus.
Oh, like huge.
But it doesn't have a long neck, so it's basically like it's just kind of like this sort of like very tall body.
Like a capybara. A very big one.
Okay, sure.
I don't
Um,
know why that's a thing.
Capybara.
I want
um,
a giant capybara.
let me look at a capybara to see. Um, yes, okay. Imagine a 30-foot tall capybara, but it is not furry. It has like rhino hide.
Love it.
And
Well, that's terrifying.
said rhino hide is let me roll one of these. The rhino hide is actually like has almost like a metallic sheen to it, and it's kind of like slightly bluish in color. We'll call these beasts capibehemoths.
Are they known to eat only vegetation or meat as well?
Well, what do capybara eat?
I think only vegetation.
Yes,
Capybaras are
vegetation.
omnivores?
Sure,
Okay.
they're grazing animals.
Okay. I'm assuming. How is Alice looking about these things?
Yes, it is. It's. I mean, it's a very strange alien creature, and you notice on the top of it there is like, it's kind of almost Flintstones like. It has a large like there's like a belt kind of around it, and on the top of it is a sort of like seating thing that could hold, 10 people probably.
Oh, don't worry. They don't eat beings. They only eat vegetation.
Sure. Yeah. Everything's Jake. Has Alice ever been abroad? Because I know she's.
Give me a luck roll on that. We'll see if you've seen an
I'm wondering
elephant.
if she's ever like seen an elephant
Yeah.
in like Thailand or something.
Sure.
And eat.
You've definitely been abroad much as an Olympic athlete, so we will say that you've gone on some safaris. Yes, you're familiar with elephants. This
Might be
is
like an
this
elephant.
is crazier looking by far, but
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
But the Behemoth is and it does seem fairly docile, and it's just kind of like up, kind of like next to one of those buildings, just kind of eating some grass.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. It's just it's very large.
Yes.
It's rather large.
Oh, are creatures on Earth small?
Well, we've got giraffes and elephants and things, and they're pretty big, but they're not that big.
Oh, yes. Well, I suppose being on another planet for the first time would be rather jarring.
Yeah. Do you know how? Do people just show up? I don't know how I got here.
Nor do I. And those from other planets often do travel interplanetarily, but not in the way that you have. Which I was going to ask, how did you travel here?
I
Because
don't
you
right
seem to
know.
have this-
I have no idea.
Okay.
I was on my boat, and I was training. Summer Olympics were coming up, and just and then there was this massive storm, and then the boat started going up.
A storm.
They're not supposed to do that.
Okay.
Oh my God, did I get? No, it wouldn't have been out yet, huh?
Probably not. I think I might know what
Abducted.
you're thinking of, but yeah.
Couldn't have been out yet.
As you guys are sort of walking and approaching.
Oh, the book had been published, so I could have read the book. I got freaking Dorothy.
You're not in Kansas
Oh.
anymore. Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but the weather. There was a storm. Okay.
You don't have any
Can-
glass like silver slippers, do you?
No. Is that the fashion on Earth? Is that
No, forget it.
You might be able to find some in the village. So I'd like to think has there ever been with science sorcery, any kind of like portal like are there legends of portals or anything being created?
My answer in response to this is, would you like to spend some knowledge to know of science sorcery? Would you like to spend some knowledge to know the histories of science sorcery? Remember, you will have 10 total. It'll just be, we'll just kind of deduct from down here, sort of a thing. Oh, I should put that for your upgrades.
Yes, I would.
Okay, how much? How good do you want to know the history of science sorcery?
And this comes from luck?
No, it comes from your knowledge. You have 10 total. This is a different pool. We haven't started into it yet. So basically, like the more you spend, the lower you do, the more areas you'll have some expertise, but this will give you like a great deal of expertise in an area if you go higher. You can do 1, 2, or 3.
I'll do 2.
2. All right. Please, with that 2, make a science sorcery roll. Give yourself a bonus on it, however.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Thank God for that bonus. 49.
A 49. You, with a 49, with a regular success and kind of your expertise in this thing, and you know all of these things. You're very familiar with even the techniques you have not mastered yourself. But portals between planets is definitely something that science sorcery has created in the past. But this was primarily only in the days of Mistrios in its grandest times, when the Zerulean science sorcerers could use their magic and scientific acumen to create such powerful magics. You don't know the details of how it works, simply you know that that's some old school, very powerful stuff.
Okay, and would I know if it ever happened on accident or it was always intentional?
With a normal success, you do not really know specifics.
Okay. I'm not going to share this
Of course.
just because
Sure.
I mean it's all myths and legends to me.
And because this is just a random woman who's shown up.
And yeah. I fell out of...
However, as you approach, you are now getting into like you're really closer to sort of these farmhouses. There's a larger sort of like processing building of some kind and a few little sort of smaller structures. As you're approaching, and you guys you weren't sneaking or anything, right?
No.
Okay. So we'll say that as you've been approaching, there actually you were just speaking of them. There is a Busico there's a Busico sort of like farmer of some kind who's kind of like moving sort of around this property, who kind of stands, and he's probably about 7 feet tall, is like one eye, so even
Corinna will put a hood over her face.
Understood.
That doesn't really cover much,
No.
and of course she's
and
still,
you're still just yeah.
she still looks very sexy, but
Yeah,
she's high.
sure. He has certainly noticed you guys by now. He hasn't sort of come to you, but he's like in the process of like moving a couple of like crates around. Actually, I say he. Yes. So he's like moving some crates and stuff, but he's noticed you, but he hasn't sort of come towards you yet. But as you're now getting a little closer, where you almost even could probably call out to him if you wanted to.
I will, and I will say greetings. Hello, I don't mean to disturb your work. I seem my traveling companion and myself seem to have lost our way, and we were hoping to make our way to the nearest village.
He sort of approaches you both, and he kind of like looks at you, Corinna, and there's his single eye kind of like squints for a moment, but then when he looks at Alice, there's much more of a like one eye, like whoa. So
Right.
And Alice, if it makes you feel any more comfortable, at least this alien is green. He's about 7 feet tall, very muscular, and has a single eye.
I am not built for this. I don't know.
Is something wrong with her?
Oh, like I said, we're trying to travel to the nearest village. She's a bit pale because she is feeling ill. We were hoping to find room and board.
Is she also mystery?
Oh, can I do detect vibe or read?
You absolutely can do a read person under your will.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, fella. I don't know what that word is. I got the heebie-jeebies. That's all.
Oh, oh, you see, she needs just more water, and she'll shove the
Shove your
jug, I
canteen.
guess.
What did you roll
Um,
for your read
I
person?
I would like to increase read person
Please.
by 15.
By 15 up to a 75. Great, you have done so. Love it.
That's I'm gonna use 3. Uh, is it luck or power that I draw from?
You draw from your luck in this game. So you'll
I
reduce your
will.
luck from 57 to 54. Yeah.
So it's going to be a just a regular success.
With a regular success, the vibe of this Busiko is he seems very wary. He seems you don't sense like you don't think he's gonna like punch you guys, but he certainly seems like very like he's very alert, and he's with his single eye he's really taking you in. You probably would not like trust him with your secrets or anything, and you probably wouldn't trust him with really anything, but you don't think he's like immediately on the attack. But he's looking at Alistair.
She is from elsewhere, and like I said, I'm so sorry for interrupting your work. We are just trying to make our way to the next village. I don't want to be a bother. If you could just point us in the right direction, that would be wonderful.
Well, the fastest route. He kind of gestures like kind of like sort of like perpendicular to the sort of route you were going. Fastest route is that way across the thorn fields.
Right.
You can take a ride on my copy behemoth, but I won't be going for a while.
Oh, when were you planning on departing?
Hour or two.
Oh, we'd be happy to wait. And I'm assuming she has some coin.
Yeah, you have some coin.
Okay, I'm not going to mention it yet, but oh, that would be wonderful. We don't mind waiting.
Yes, I don't think the Thornfields would do either of you well.
Of course not. So we will just go and sit. She, as you can see, could use a little rest. And we will just wait for you. Take your time. I appreciate your help.
Yes. He kind of keeps moving some crates. You guys can go sit. After a few minutes, though, he goes into one of the buildings.
So once we get to the village, hopefully we can see if we can get you home.
Yeah, that would be oh, he's a real McCoy, huh? That's an alien. You're an alien. Okay.
Yes.
Well,
You're technically the alien here. Well, we're all aliens to each other, depending on the situation, I suppose.
Yeah. Sure.
What
Sure.
What were you doing when you were taken by the storm?
Well, I was sailing to oceans here.
Yes. On a boat, a ship.
Yes, a boat, a single person boat. I.
Why do you travel alone?
Well, it's for a competition. I was training.
Oh, how exciting! Did you win?
Well, I was training, so.
Oh.
But yeah, I win a lot.
Good.
How many medals does she have?
Roll, medals are actually very hard to get. I'll tell you what. Roll a D100.
Is a 66.
You have I'll say 66. Do you want 2 bronzes or 1 silver?
1 silver.
You have a silver. And you've also won a lot of like non-Olympic, like world championship things. You've done well at those. You've probably only competed in 1 actual Olympic Games.
Olympic Games. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. What did
we'll say it's a gold. Screw it. You got 1 gold.
Oh.
Do you want to do what you wanted in? You wanted in sailing, swimming, golf, or tennis, or archery? There was a lot of women's archery back then too.
There's a lot. Yeah, let's go with archery actually.
Understood. You have 1 in archery.
Well, I haven't won for sailing yet, but I've won. I've done pretty well. I'm doing pretty well.
Oh,
I was doing pretty well.
wonderful. So we'll do the best that we can to get you back to your little competitions.
Well, they're not little. They're pretty big. They're kind of, the entire planet. Everyone competes, the best people from every country. It's
Oh, I'm so sorry. My perspective on things, obviously for other planets, are skewed.
Yeah, well, sure.
Not little, but not insignificant. Very big, significant competitions that you are very good at. I will help you get back to them.
Yeah.
As you guys continue chatting for a while, after 45 minutes or so, he sort of comes out and he begins to like load some crates and things onto this copy behemoth, and kind of looks over at you and sort of just calls out, "Well, if you're coming, I'm going now."
Oh, right. Yes. Thank you.
And you guys can sort of climb up there, both of you, with your sort of just. Although I will say, Alice, that as you like kind of like jump up, and Corinna, you might even be impressed as you just kind of like kind of leap up to climb. You actually, Alice. No, I'm gonna take that back. Alice, make a jump roll. It's under physicality.
Well, I'll say that and then I'll fail. 92.
92. All right, so you jump like you sort of jump up to you're kind of just trying to jump up the stirrup, and instead you sort of make like a small jump, and you jump like halfway up the thing and have to like hold on to like the you jumped almost like 6 feet just in one go, kind of casually.
Right. Okay.
Corinna, you're also quite good at jumping, but more in sort of a lithe way. It seems like Alice just kind of like accidentally wet, so she seems to still just be adjusting. But as you
did like a cat thing.
Yeah, you kind of like, well, yeah. So as you sort of, again, things seem a little odd, but as you sort of get up there, go ahead and click your jump box, by the way, because you did. I should be warning you to click. So yeah, you click. You can click. I clicked you for sale already.
Oh, you did it for me. Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
Doing it for those other ones to do. So as you've sort of leapt up there, kind of climbing up these sort of like rope ladder things, he's up there and got all his crates on. He turns it around, and the sort of slow, plodding steps of the copy behemoth begin to sort of move off the farm, going through sort of the tranquil area. The area he gestured for you two to sit in is not near the front where he's got the reins, so you can kind of continue chatting or just kind of keeping a lookout. But eventually you do, as he said, you sort of leave these more passable plains, and you do come to Thornland, which is huge expanses of sharp thorns that would be very tough passage for any sort of humanoid form on foot. But for you guys on top, it seems like the copy behemoth's hide, that metallic hide, just like scrapes these aside with nothing. The journey takes about an hour and a half. You do notice at a few points through these lands, there are these like either sometimes it's a naturally occurring rock formation, sometimes there'll be a little tower that has a platform on it that seems to be around the height of a copy behemoth's howdah, or sort of, carrying area that you are riding But this farmer, as you're sort of coming up on one of those, he sort of pauses for a moment. Kind of like brings the copy behemoth to a stop.
Do we see a village nearby?
Make a look roll. And Alice, you can make a look roll as well if you're looking around.
I would assume I'm looking around
Yeah,
quite a bit.
yeah. I'm sure you're seeing. Yeah.
Oh, 100.
100. Oh, cool. What's that?
16.
16.
Hard
A 16 is a hard success, and that is a fumble, Corinna.
Yeah.
Over 100. Great. All right. So, Alice, you are sort of looking around at what it is, and you look at the sort of upcoming little rock formation that will be just on your level, and you notice something, Alice, with a hard success. You notice someone is, or I'll rephrase that. You notice light glinting twice, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Corinna, you're sort of standing up, looking around, and you think you like see something in the distance, and you're almost like straining like over the side of it, and Alice, just when you see that, a moment later, you feel the Busiko crack the reins, and it moves forward, and Corinna, you go falling off the beast into the thorns.
Are you?
That being said, Alice, you are very quick and very strong. So
Right.
Here's what I would like for you to do. I would like for you to make a move roll to see if you can reach out and grab her. And because of the move, you do get one bonus on this, so re-roll your tens. You can roll the tens column twice and use the lower number.
Okay, we're definitely using the first one. That was a 36.
36 is a hard success for you. As you sort of, yes, you can as you move with this kind of like, you see her falling, and you see her like with this cat-like sort of just like massive, you're just like rushing kind of over a couple. You reach out and grab, make a lift roll as well. Let's see if you can just grab her, and she just doesn't even have to, there's no rolls of danger or anything.
The lift?
A lift. You also get a bonus
38.
on this. Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me
Yeah.
try that again.
Might go crazier.
Oh, 18.
18 is an extreme success. Alice, you leap over and you like grab hold of her, and you basically just like toss her. Like you just like you're trying to just pull her, but you throw her up in the air overhead, like you just like flip her back up. And I'll say that because it's an extreme success, you also managed to sort of catch her. Like, perhaps something strange, and this woman only weighs like 12 pounds or something. You're not sure, because all you were doing was just like trying to like give a little extra force. Instead, you tossed her about 10 feet overhead and just managed to catch her.
Oh, you're lighter than a shot put. How much? Well, I don't want to ask a dame how much they weigh, but you might need to eat some more, girl. I don't know. That should not have been.
Oh, well, I've been traveling for quite a while, but I should eat more. Thank you for rescuing me. Normally, I'm not that clumsy. I don't know what happened.
You're welcome. I'm normally not. Huh. Interesting.
It seems like the environment is good for you then.
as the two of you are kind of like adjusting to this, there's been some sounds. The copy behemoth comes to another sort of rest. And the two of you sort of like distracted and engaged in this, even though Alice noticed something earlier. She got distracted by Corinna nearly dying. She had to rescue like some kind of spaceman or something. Suddenly you hear a voice saying, "Oh, good day, travelers." And sort of suddenly stepping off of the platform onto this howdah where you are with all these crates, there is a Kiskid wearing a purple robe, Corinna, which you know just culturally here. The druids who wear the purple robes. These are like the highest ranked, most sort of like intense, like the highest caste of the K-Skid society. And as this man is sort of walking on to this thing, kind of taking a couple of steps, saying, "Hello, friends.
Hello.
I hope you're
I'm
all
sure.
having a good passage. Oh, a young mystery woman and another traveler. Please, come with us."
Oh,
Do
we
you know
were.
this man?
No, we were just hoping to be dropped off at the nearest village.
No, a village. We can get you to a village or even a city, but please come with us now. You are mystery, are you not?
I am, and I do appreciate your invitation, but we will be um waiting for the village stop.
My dear,
Yeah,
this is not a request. You might have information. We are seeking a mystery woman. One who left a village not far from here, nights ago. One who might have information.
Well, I'm sure there are dozens of mystery women who come and go from various villages.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not about to. You said you were looking for a woman, right? Well, we're two women.
That is correct.
So if you're looking for a woman,
He sort of steps a little bit more forward, and you do notice that like on still the on the rocky outcropping, there are two other K-Scud wearing sort of the more normal black clothing. But this druid, he's walking up to you and kind of, "Yes, and you are an off-worlder of some kind, though I don't know your species." He kind of leans in very close to you, Alice. Such sad, round ears. And oh, Alice, I guess I should explain that what you're seeing here is a very like fancy looking. He actually like in terms of physicality seems pretty similar to Corinna, but his coloring is gray and he seems almost sort of stony.
well, they're pretty standard shapes where I come from.
Yes, and might I add, it is very rude to compliment or to comment on a female's appearance.
Yeah, thank you. It's, yeah. So anyway, it sounds to me like do I have any like detect vibey types?
Absolutely, yeah. Why don't you make a read person under your green will column? If you before you do this, you have not spent any points on talents. Would you like to be someone who is good at reading people?
Yes.
All right,
because
you
of
can
competition.
spend anywhere from 1 to 49 points on this ability. You have 300 total.
Where is that?
That is that's down in your notes, which is under your knowledges. It's kind of like it's very sort of small, and that's
Ah, yes, I see.
it's just a thing I'm doing. It's not
Okay.
there's not a formal thing. I'm letting you guys build your characters as time goes by, basically.
Yes. So how many points does what?
1 point. It's like if you want to increase your, you can go to a maximum of 99. So if you want your read person to be like 80, you're at 50 now. Spend 30 of those 300.
Oh, I can spend 30 from that. Okay.
Yeah, that's your privilege.
Let's go ahead and spend 25.
25. Love it. All right. So yeah, you will be at 75. And go ahead and make your roll.
That's useful for competition. Glad I did because I rolled a 70.
There you go. So you are definitely getting a vibe that this person is dangerous and he's used to getting his way. He reminds you of a lot of like the line judges at like tennis events. Just a real
There are a couple
dick.
of bimbos.
Yeah. A real sanctimonious twerp.
Bimbo in the 1920s meant that someone was a tough guy. I don't know how that word came to be what it is today, but
That's interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, this is a real bimbo.
There's
Regular
a real
bimbo.
bimbo in front of me right here. Boy,
Yeah.
howdy. Yeah, no, we're not going with this, man. Yeah, no. You know, I think you're barking up the wrong tree here. Just the wrong spot, sir. This is we are two women. You're looking for a woman.
Yes. We have been travel companions for a long time.
Make a deceive roll.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Well,
she goes
you know
to the
what?
dawn with me all the time.
I'm gonna add 15. No, I'm gonna add. Can I add 20 to that?
What is yours? You can add to your deceive. You could add 39 if you wanted to.
I thought it was only 20. I thought, ooh, because this is all she's been doing, so she should be good at it.
You should be a good liar, actually. You should go high on your lies.
I will go 30.
30. Get up to 90. Love it. All right. I'll deduct that from your total.
22, baby.
A 22.
Yes.
That is a hard success.
Oh.
Go ahead and click it. If you're gonna spend 4 luck, you can make it extreme, but then you can't click it.
I'll make it extreme.
All right, sounds good. So don't click it, but you spend 4 more of your luck, and with an extreme success, you say we've been traveling companions for a long time. And he sort of looks at both of you, and there's a... Tell you what, both of you give me a read person roll in response to this.
Yeah, I mean, she goes to the John with me all the time. It's, I rolled a 7.
52, so regular.
52. So, Corinna, you see a relaxing... I will say, Alice, despite the fact that this is an alien from who knows how far beyond the stars, you can tell that he's a man. And apparently, back in these very gender essentialist times when these books are being written, they're claiming that such things are universal truths. Upon closer inspection, and upon her saying that and him believing it, he is, with your extreme success, you think that he is absolutely looking for someone specific. But it is definitely not Corinna. She seems... You seem weird and alien. She seems now, based on how she's been talking and what she's saying, that she is just, like, worthless. And so this guy is just like, kind of harumphing. And he thinks the two of you are like lower than dirt, not the droids he's looking for. And he kind of looks at both of you with this kind of cold, sort of patrician snootiness and says, "Yes, I suppose you are not what I'm seeking." Curses. He looks around at this region with contempt in his face. Not what I'm looking for at all. He kind of goes up and you see like the farmer who's taking you kind of turns around and says, and he just says, "No." And he then hops back onto the platform and turns to his 2 men and says, "Not who we're looking for. Kill them all."
What?
You're beneath his contempt. So, he gestures for them, and these 2 guys pull out these ray guns. However, I'm going to make a roll now that will be useful for you guys, unless one of you would rather roll it.
No, I don't trust myself.
I'm going to make a roll for if the farmer heard it too. Because the farmer, Alice, I'm going to even roll over what you just said in terms of like the timing of this, of your reading of this guy. He's irritated at this farmer for bringing him out here on the report. The farmer, like, there was something about this, you know, the farmer, like, reported a random mystery woman. So we're going to roll for the farmer. You need me to roll basically under 50. I roll a 23.
Ooh.
So, in response to that, these things are being pulled up, but you both feel this like, whoa, as you fall back. Alice, you're probably still like holding on to Corinna so she doesn't go flying out again as the Cappy Behemoth begins to run. And the Cappy Behemoth starts to sort of run quickly, but these people are sort of shooting at you. I need both of you to make a dodge roll.
Oh, God.
Unless you'd like to do something other than dodge. And probably... Yeah, actually, no. I'm not going to say dodge. What's happening is you are on the back of a beast. Elves are shooting at you with ray guns.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do? I will say that, Corinna, you obviously have some options, but those are big things to pull out in public.
Yeah.
Alice, I will mention that... Actually, no, before this happens, Alice, give me one more detect vibe roll.
47. That's a success.
A success. I think... Really, I should have given you some additional thing on this because you're sort of... I think, Alice, that the way you caught Corinna earlier and tossed her, you're beginning to maybe suspect that your already Olympian physique, maybe, just maybe, is even more here on this planet. And you look at these large crates that this guy was filling with those gross fruits. Part of you wonders if maybe these are throwable for you.
Are they still full of fruits or are they empty?
No, they're full of fruit.
So they've got some...
Like some heft. I mean, it might be heavy, but you're like, I might be able to pick those up and throw them. You have no idea how heavy it might be like tough, but like you're kind of getting the sense that you've got some like Popeye the Sailor Man level, like you're on constant spinach here.
So I could try to throw those.
You could use those as like a counter projectile if you wanted, or you could simply dodge. I would say those are probably the two most logical things.
Is there enough space if I dodge to like push Corinna down and like
body blocker? Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So could I try to do that?
Pull her down and cover her with your body.
Pull her
Absolutely.
down, kind of cover her, I guess.
Corinna, what would you like to do?
I will dodge.
You will dodge. Okay, so both of you make dodge rolls. And those are under your coordination.
42.
All right. Would you like to add anything to your dodge before making the roll, Alice? You're already a 75. You're pretty good.
Rolled a 36, so I think I'm good.
Okay, so basically, yes. So Corinna, you like leap out of the way, and Alice like very like just like kind of like... honestly, Corinna is very swift, and she's very kind of like she like flips kind of like behind some of the chairs, behind the crates, and Alice, you like land like just sturdily on top of her.
Oop.
Just blocking her from like the shrapnel as the crates are exploding in the death rays. But both of you, with these rolls, manage to sort of get out of the way. Let's roll to see how the driver of this does.
Sorry about that, instincts.
Oh, it's quite all right.
You hear the shots continue as the thing's going, but like as you're sort of like, Alice, you're maybe looking up and sort of peeking back over, and you see that you now have like 20, 30, 40 feet distance from this, so even though they're still shooting, they're probably not gonna be able to keep shooting at you. However, you both hear a sound, and the direction of this creature sort of starts to lilt, and both of you look up as you see the Busiko who was like riding it. He was like up, he was like standing in sort of in the reins, and he kind of and his single eye rolls into the back of his head, and he kind of falls. And as he falls, he's tangled up in the reins, and it's pulling the creature into like a curve, and you hear the ray guns still blasting.
What is there anything sharp? Would I have any plausible that she would have like a little knife or something?
Yeah, you have general equipment fine. Alice unfortunately has nothing.
Okay, so can I like crawl up to like grab onto the reins and cut them off?
You can absolutely try to get up to the reins and cut them off. What do you want to do, Alice?
First of all, he's the guy who called them to find us. We know that now?
He is, yes, but now he's dead.
Alright, so no, I don't feel so bad for him. Are there any crates left?
there are crates, but you're now a much longer distance from them, although it is turning back sort of towards them, so you might want to grab a crate. I would say, do either of you, this is kind of a bigger thing, would either of you like to be specifically, like, I could say this is feasible for both. Alice, another big Olympian event back then was equestrian. So if you want to say that you have experience with this, Corinna, you also could do that. But I will say that if anybody wants to add points to sort of gain that skill under their coordination, they can. Basically, add a few points to be a...
Not operate equipment.
I would let you make an operate equipment, but you would need a hard success at minimum.
Okay.
Sorry, at first you said it would be acrobatic?
No, it will be under, so it's like, it'll be one of those customs down at the bottom of coordination.
I guess it would make sense for me to have some.
All right, cool. How good do you want to be at that?
Spend out a talent, right?
Spend out a talent. I think it's probably like a minimum 10 to get a new skill.
Sure. Let's say 25.
25, great. Actually, you could only do 24.
24 then.
And you will, at that point, have... Apparently, this is one of your real things. You have a 99 at, equestrian.
She was a pentathlon.
Yeah.
Pentathlete.
She absolutely was. So, if Corinna is going to try to cut that, and you're going to try to then take the reins and ride it, Corinna, if you would first make a fine motor skills roll.
I was starting from 0 on that when I picked 24.
I would like to add 10 to that.
I love that. And the
35.
reason... sorry, go ahead.
I got a 35, which is right at hard success.
Perfect. Great. So yeah, you just but kind of like, so basically the way this went is blast, blast, blast. Corinna ducks. Alice lands right on top of her. Boy, would that have been the cover image. And then Alice is like, sorry, force of habit. You hear the guy get shot. You guys, like, you look up, both see it, look at each other, and then you both scramble forward. Corinna, you kind of cut the rein free, and his body falls and gets trampled by his own copy behemoth. And Alice, you take the reins, so please go ahead and make an equestrian roll with your 99 in equestrian.
Yeah, so I started from where with that one?
If you want to adjust this, that's also fine. You started at a 75 because that's what your coordination is. Since it's a coordination-based skill.
I didn't realize that. I thought I was starting from 0, which is why I was like, I guess...
Because you haven't rolled it yet, if you'd like to back that off and only put... I'm going to say it's a minimum of 10 to create a new skill, so you'd have to be at least an 85, but if you want 14 points back, you could be only an 85 at that. If you don't just want to be...
Yeah, then let's do that.
Okay,
yeah, let's
cool.
do that.
If you don't just want to be... In which case, I would say you definitely have a silver in equestrian if you're at a 99. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what? Okay. Okay. All right. Sorry, I did not understand how that was.
No. That's on me. Yeah.
So that's why I was like, oh god, I'm gonna spend these talent points so fast doing this.
Exactly. All right.
Okay.
All
right.
But 85 is still very good. So,
Yeah.
All right.
46.
A 46 is a success. If you wanted to spend 4 of your luck, you could make it a hard success to like really.
Do I need a hard success? I just need a success.
You suspect that because this is not a horse, and because there are people attacking you, and because the creature is wild, a hard success might be a good thing. However, if you wanted to, you could spend power to completely make the reroll.
Either spend power for a reroll or luck, huh?
Mm-hmm. Power you get back every hour, but it's also if you like get shot, it's bad not to have power. Luck, you also get luck back every session. We didn't do that last time, Lauren. Sorry, but you guys were today.
Yeah, I'll spend some luck.
All
I
right,
remember
cool.
now. It's good to spend luck.
It is good to spend luck. So we will take you. You'll spend 4 luck. You'll be down at 54 luck instead.
Yes.
You succeed, but you don't click equestrian because you're spending luck to succeed on it.
I'm spending luck
Perfect.
to get it. Okay.
Okay, cool. So
Yes, I remember how this works.
yeah, it's all coming back. Okay, cool. So yeah, you'll spend 4 luck, and you manage to grab the reins and pull the beast in the right sort of direction. And though the blasts continue on behind you, the last thing you hear is some cursing, but you carry on, and after a while, ahead of you, you do see a village. The Cappy Behemoth sort of slows at some point of its own volition, but you manage to keep it on thing. And though you know that it might be dangerous, people might be looking for you here, since they do have, quick communication abilities on this planet, since it is sort of sci-fi-ish, it's possible to be looking for you. You guys can kind of, stop outside of town and get off and determine whether or not you're going to go in this village or create new cover stories and such. What would your strategy be, or what would you do now, Corinna? What would you sort of say or do?
I would suggest that we sell the, what is it? Giant capybara?
Cappy Behemoth?
Cappy Behemoth. To discreetly and proceed to the village. But we should be far, or you know what? I believe that we should leave the Cappy Behemoth outside of the village, let it go to be free and live its life, because two women entering a village with a Cappy Behemoth would be rather obvious.
You just let these things roam free? They don't do damage?
Well, they already roam free, and they are often captured and tamed somewhat. But it can go graze.
Okay, sure. Yeah. I mean, I'll follow your lead. What was up with those guys? Why? Also, your friend, I think he brought those. I don't feel so bad. I feel bad that I don't feel bad, but I don't feel bad.
Oh, well, none
Um,
of them were my friends. I don't have friends.
So what the heck was that all about? Before I go anywhere else, I kind of want to know, because I'm not on my planet, and some people, the aliens, I don't know, the men tried to kill us. So
Right. And Corinna knows they're after her, right?
I think she is beginning to fear they're after her, yes.
Well, do you have secrets on your planet, Alice?
Sure, yeah, everyone's got secrets.
Well,
But
I have a couple, that might cause people to be looking at me, hence why I have no friends, and hence why I was traveling alone, toward the nearest village. And you don't have to venture with me at all.
Well,
We can part ways in the village.
no, I don't think it'd be very smart to take my chances on my own. I really need to know what's going on before. I need to know.
Well, there are a couple things. I am someone who was previously important in long ago, and am no longer, but people still may be looking for me. And more recently, I witnessed someone else falling from the sky, but not in the way that you did, in a more explosion falling
Like
dead
a hit.
kind of way. Yes.
Or
Or exploded. Potentially not. He did have a rocket pack. So it could have been that, but I was a witness to that, and I just realized that I should probably separate myself from that whole situation, because of situations that just happened, potentially happening to me. Let's move on to the village, shall
these
we?
were mobsters.
I don't know what that means, but
Oh.
sounds terrifying.
Can I? What do the men of your race
The mystery.
look like? The mystery, like a mystery,
Or mystery. In our language, you will touch the R. Mystery. Mystery.
Alice, with a little bit of going back and forth, you realize it's Mystri.
Ah, mystery. Okay.
See,
What
yes.
what did the boy mystery look like?
I mean, they look like me, but are you asking about the anatomy of?
Well, I'm thinking more if they're looking for a girl, maybe you should
Oh,
look
I can't.
like
I
a
can't
boy.
grow that. Do your species change spontaneously? You can grow.
What
What are you asking?
what our men have extra parts, but they're not anywhere you would normally
Yes.
see, and then you can kind of, put your hair up and you had a hat and maybe you
Oh,
I don't
just
know.
dressing like a male.
Yes.
Oh, I was thinking that you were thinking that my people just go back and forth.
No, 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 no. Just dress like a boy version of you.
Oh, I suppose they are a little more substantial, perhaps more muscular. They have long hair as well, typically. Sometimes shorter. Um, would there be any identifying feature of a mystery male
I
that?
mean, I think it's the sexual dimorphism is probably pretty similar. It would certainly
Okay.
be in clothing, or yeah, it would be standard
Okay.
standard Shakespeare plot point of dressing like a boy.
Okay.
Yes, would work.
Um, yes, that is a good point. We shall dress as males to confuse the masses.
Sure. Yeah, let's do that. I think that might be a good idea. I know some dames who've had to do that to keep themselves safe in the past.
What is a
so-
dame?
Girls, ladies,
Oh.
women,
Oh, okay, yes.
dolls,
Dolls that you play with.
No, doll means girl, but it's also a doll.
You have many words for one thing. It's very interesting.
So as
Yeah.
the two of you kind of hatch this scheme to maybe dress like men to avoid detection, we cut back to an office where Ted Fountain is sort of chuckling at as he's kind of like saying this, and he's looking over at Cora and Louise, who are just like chatting about something. He can't hear what they're saying, but it's almost like he's putting words into their mouths. He glances back at that picture of the picture for the second thing and kind of nods, but realizes that maybe this will give Louise an idea of what to do as a picture for the next installment. They're sort of chatting. He looks over at Bliss, who's like looking at something. Ted glances at the clock. It's only about 4 or so, but there was a ball game he kind of wanted to catch, so he gathers up his pages, or kind of puts them together on the table, just leaves them, and slips out. And that is where we'll end today's episode of Strange Lore. So welcome, Liv. I don't know if that if you get the vibe of this game, or kind of the energy.
Yeah,
of this
I'm
one.
starting to pick it up now.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
having
yeah.
some fun. I'm having some fun.
I like how we're having like a double Viola situation
Yes,
about to happen.
Great. And I even confirmed, because I was like, ooh, was the drag, how was, in the 1920s, I was like, how was the drag scene in the US? And there was a drag scene. It was called the Pansy Craze.
The Pansy Craze. Wait, was it men dressing as women, or women dressing as men?
Mostly drag queens, but I would assume that, like, you could derive that the opposite is also possible. Plus, the 20s was flapper culture.
I mean, I feel like everyone was doing everything. I feel like the 20s were like, I bet people were fucking crazy in the 20s.
Yeah. They also had a very not nice name.
Well, that doesn't surprise me in the slightest. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here, for checking this out. I'll sort of quickly go through the other stuff. We have some other games on other days of the week, although the next week is going to be a little light. On Friday, we have A Blood from a Stone at 7:30 p.m. Pacific. I believe you can see both of these wonderful players in that game to see them playing multiple characters also in that game. And then on our next game after that would actually be a week from today, when we have our next Strange Lore at 4 p.m.
Wait, aren't we doing tomorrow?
But before all of that, tomorrow night, we've got a Formation Nation with superhero stuff also at 7:30 p.m. And
Which may or may not have a connection to this game.
I mean, I don't know about that. I just know that this guy definitely has written for Meridian magazine, and he's written some Teleportia issues. So
interesting.
I don't know about that. Great. So thank you so much for checking us out. Go to our Discord to interact with us. Go to our YouTube to see the old ones. Go to our wiki to read about all the cool stuff. I think we have a bunch of a good bit of the like the first 35. I think Sophia said descriptions of Blood from a Stoner up on the wiki now, which is cool. I don't know. Do you guys want to plug anything?
I have a channel that I stream on sometimes, but on Thursdays at 7:30 Pacific, but probably not this Thursday because I'm on this channel 4 times this week, and that's a lot.
I'm on it 5 times this week. Like, whatever.
Well, I was going to say you choose to do that. I choose to do it too.
That's true, too. Guys, so thank you so much for
Wait,
watching.
does Liv have anything to plug?
I thought I saw her shaking her head. I assumed.
Oh, just my usual social medias. Follow them all. My TikToks, my Instas, my Twitters, my Blue Sky.
Your threads.
My threads. All the things. I'm Olivia on everything except for TikTok, where I'm Olivia Hungers.
It's not Twitter anymore.
Fuck that shit. It's Twitter. It's Twitter until the end of time. Listen, today was a good day personally. Trump got indicted on 4 counts. Let's celebrate that tonight.
I think it's not Twitter till the end of time. I think you can still call it Twitter until it stops operation in early 2024. Is my estimate.
Yeah, it's Twitter until it's dead in the water. Yeep.
Well, very good. We got to follow these wonderful people. I guess you can follow us at Long Lost Lore on Instagram, or Long Lost Lore RPG on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you so much. This has been great. We will have more not noir. We will have more pulp fun for you in a week. Until then, as they always end in the magazines, to be continued. Ooh. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.